Before the bill was pulled last week, I spoke with Republican Representative Andy Harris of Maryland. In addition to being in the House Freedom Caucus, he is also a Catholic and a medical doctor. I asked the congressman if he thought defunding Planned Parenthood is important in healthcare legislation.
Oh, it's an idea whose time has come. Pretty clearly, the American public doesn't want their tax dollars flowing to institutions that do abortions, and Planned Parenthood is, of course, the largest abortion provider in the United States. And it's about time that we take that funding that went to that abortion provider and actually distributed it to the community health centers. In my district, there are 10 times as many community health centers as Planned Parenthood clinics, so that women are actually going to have far more access to the exact same services, with the exception of abortion, that they had with Planned Parenthood, and more comprehensive services as well.
That goes to my next question. Many say defunding Planned Parenthood would hurt women's health. Did you find anything in your congressional investigation that would prove otherwise?
Well, certainly the idea that Planned Parenthood was in collusion with middlemen who bought and sold baby body parts is something that I think most Americans find they're resentful of that. So clearly, the American public has spoken loudly that taxpayer dollars should not flow to abortion providers. Again, the community health centers offer comprehensive care. They offer mammograms, they offer prenatal visits, they offer things that Planned Parenthood just doesn't offer women. So if what we're really concerned about is providing comprehensive health care to women, it's not found at a Planned Parenthood clinic. The only thing you find there you don't find elsewhere is abortion. Everything else and much more can be found in a community health center.
What are Republicans doing to ensure that ultimately taxpayer dollars do not go to fund abortion on demand?
Well, that was the problem with the initial Obamacare bill, that there were no protections in the law that disallowed taxpayer funds going to plans that covered abortion. We think that's a mistake that shouldn't be repeated when we do the replacement. So we think what we're going to need is we probably need other protections. We probably need a much more thorough Hyde Amendment protection, for instance, that would cover all public funds, taxpayer funds that flow through to insurance plans. So, for instance, the tax credits, which could be used to buy policies, we think there should be Hyde protections for that. For the health savings accounts that people are allowed under the tax code with the new plan, we think there should be Hyde protections.
Congressman, you are Catholic. Does your Catholic faith influence your work as a legislator, specifically when it comes to life?
Absolutely. I think that the NIH should have a firm restriction against funding embryonic stem cell research. I think we should be looking at what are called the human-animal chimeras, where we're taking human genes and putting them into animals. I mean, I think we should basically not be funding that kind of research until we know exactly what the ethical boundaries are. It informs my decisions when we look at something as simple as taxpayer funding of abortion. The majority of Americans oppose it. We shouldn't have public funding, public taxpayer funding of it.
Representative Andy Harris, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.